Hello, Patriots. It's Chairman Bennett, and today I want to address yet another very serious failure and criminal act by the Biden administration and General Milley, which is the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Recently, the Pentagon admitted that General Milley, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, told his military counterpart in China, General Lee of the People's Liberation Army, he said, and I quote, "General Lee, you and I have known each other for 5 years. If we're going to attack, I'm going to call you ahead of time. It's not going to be a surprise." Now, this may shock some of you, but I'm just going to say what we're all thinking. General Milley should be arrested and brought before a military tribunal on the charges of treason. If he's found guilty, he should receive the punishment typically given out to those who have committed treason. General Milley must be held accountable for his actions or inactions. It shouldn't be any surprise that he's committed treason. I mean, his true character was on full display when he demonstrated public insubordination when President Trump was in office, and Milley called patriots Nazis. So here we have a General Milley, who puts himself above the president in the chain of command and told a senior Chinese military official that he would alert him if America was going to attack China. Biden and others are actually defending Milley and his treasonous act. I mean, it was all over the news today, in the entire news cycle. You know what they say? Well, he was justified and he was just doing the right thing. Oh, really? Well, where was he with his newfound courage whenever Biden decided to allow the Taliban and ISIS, by the way, they're one and the same, to kill our service members outside the airport? Because of Biden's disastrous retreat out of Kabul, we lost many service members. The United States Constitution defines treason as levying war against the United States or giving aid and comfort to her enemies. General Milley pledged to give high-level military information to the Chinese. He bragged about it. He's a traitor. In any sane country, he would be arrested. They'd strip him of his rank. They'd put him on trial, and they would probably hang him, because that's the typical punishment for traitors. So, General Milley, instead of being a general and focusing on war fighting and winning wars, he instead focused on his obsession of hunting down white rage and purging any soldiers who are actually American patriots from the ranks of our military. The National Military Command Center, or the NMCC, operates under the National Command Authority, or the NCA, which is made up of the President and the Secretary of Defense. The NMCC is responsible for communicating with U.S. nuclear launch platforms, submarines, silos, and ground nuclear commands. According to documents, in January 2021, General Milley held a meeting with the NMCC at which he told the attendees they now reported to him, not the President. Additionally, Milley made clear that the people present should follow no orders without consulting him first. Again, these acts are unlawful and constitute treason. The most disturbing part of all this is the number of people that seem to be complicit with Milley's treason. Allegedly, all the attendees of the NMCC meeting, they agreed to Milley's orders or his requests. But instead of holding General Milley accountable, Milley's staff is doubling down and they're defending Milley's actions today, along with the President, Biden.
Well, again, the president has complete confidence in his leadership, his patriotism, and his fidelity to our Constitution. I can't speak to the former president's experience with him or the former president's views of him, but this current president, who follows the Constitution, who's not fomenting an insurrection, who follows the rule of law.
They should have known what he was doing in this regard. I mean, leaders of the United States intelligence agencies must have been aware of his treason, including the then CIA director, Gina Haspel, who said, and I quote, "We are on the way to a right-wing coup after Mr. Trump lost the election." Where's the general and the agency heads on stopping the communists here in the United States? Or how about the Democrat Party and the treasonous leaders who are actually unlawfully seizing power in America today? Well, they're silent. However, now General Milley and the Biden administration are discussing the possibility of sharing intelligence with the Taliban. I mean, what world do we live in that the highest ranking general in the United States military and the commander-in-chief decided they're going to work with and share intelligence with the same Taliban that we have been fighting for 20 years that have been killing American troops? This is a direct slap in the face to those of us who have served in Afghanistan, and it is completely disrespectful to the families that are mourning the loss of their loved ones because of Biden's and Milley's failures in Afghanistan. Here's the reality. Until traitors against the United States are tried and executed, the stream of treason flowing through the federal government and moving through states across America will never be stopped because the perpetrators have no incentive to do so. Oh, by the way, the so-called successful retaliation drone strike conducted by the Biden administration and General Milley after our service members were killed in a martyr attack by the enemy, that drone strike didn't kill any of the enemy. They killed innocent people, including kids. Then they lied about it, the whole thing, to all of us.
And this is a total reversal from what the Pentagon has been saying on the record now for the last 2 weeks. As early as this week, I was talking to officials who said that they were convinced that this was an ISIS-K target. They concluded that the secondary explosion that they had attributed to explosives that were being loaded into the car may have actually belonged to a propane tank that was located just next to the vehicle when a Hellfire missile struck it.
After they bragged about getting back those that killed some of our troops. General Milley and Biden must be held accountable. I encourage all military members, veterans, and citizens to contact your congressman and your U.S. senator and tell them, since General Milley contemplated a treasonous leak of classified information to the Chinese Communist Party in advance of a potential armed conflict with the People's Republic of China, they need to immediately remove Milley from office and put him on trial for treason. We owe it to every man or woman who has ever served in the United States military to keep the integrity of our military forces. I mean, if one of us had done anything remotely close to what General Milley did, we'd been tried and sentenced in short order. He doesn't get a free pass because he's a general or because he works for Biden. So call your congressman and senator and tell them we must hold Milley accountable. He needs to be relieved of duty immediately, and he needs to be tried.